Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So today we are going to learn how to make Hypertufa pots. Now for this we need Cocopeat. If you might have seen my other video wherein we had made papercrete pots, this is very similar, but over here we tend to use Cocopeat instead of paper. Now you just need the regular Cocopeat, what you use for your foliage plants. That's the same Cocopeat what we are going to be using. Now I would say you can use 2 parts of Cocopeat and 3 parts of the Portland cement. So we would require some cement for this pots. So here I have taken 2 parts of Cocopeat and I will be using 3 parts of the regular grey cement or the Portland cement. Now the more cement you add, the more stronger the pot. So if you're going to add 4 parts as well, it's absolutely fine. The pot will become even more stronger. So now I will quickly add some cement to it. Now remember guys, do not add water on the first go. And always remember to use a face mask while making this video, because there is going to be a lot of the cement dust that's going to fly around. So ensure that you're using that. Now I think I have added 3 parts of the Portland cement. And now when we are going to be adding water, we have to be little careful. We just need to add very little of it. Now I'm adding it right away because I do not want any more dust to fly, because it's very windy over here. So I'm going to be adding a little bit of water. Do not add water in one go because you do not want to make it very mushy. It has to be a dough kind of a texture, just the same way how we had made it for our papercrete. Now the next ingredient that we need for this is perlite. Now perlite, I'm just going to be taking only 1 part of perlite, not much, just 1 part. That's more than enough. So as you can see, the perlite has already started to fly. So I'm going to quickly add some water so that it will get settled down. It's a little difficult to work over here, especially when there is a lot of air around. Now always remember, do not add too much of the water, because our Cocopeat is going to absorb all that water. Now the next thing what we're going to do is we are going to mix all of this together until everything binds properly. Now ensure that all of that Cocopeat has to be completely covered with the Portland cement. Now as you can see, it looks little dry, so I'm going to be adding little bit water. So go according to this method. Whenever you feel it's little dry, just add water according to that. We do not want to make the consistency very runny. It has to be kind of a dough. If you feel that it is already becoming very watery, then you can always go ahead and add a little bit more of cement or Cocopeat. So let me completely mix this up so that all of that Cocopeat is completely mixed with the grey cement. So let me finish this up and I'll get back to you. Guys, after making the mix, I just realized that I don't have any containers to pour in, but luckily I had this one container that I usually use for making my papercrete pots. So I'm going to be using this plastic container for making my Hypertufa pot. Now this is the inner glass that I'm going to be using. Now I would suggest, if you can oil the inner part of the container, both of these containers should be oiled up. Now I do not add oil because I have a good experience. This is a very soft plastic and I can easily take out the pot from this plastic container. So I'm not using any oil. But if you're trying it for the first time, or if you're using any kind of material, always ensure that you will oil it from inside. You have to use some kind of oil or grease on both the containers, because this container is going to go in like this. So both of them have to be oiled up. Otherwise it will be very difficult to take it out from the pot. So always remember to use a plastic container. Please do not use iron, ceramic or any other material. Do not use a clay container like this, because the pot will get stuck in this. It has to be plastic. So it has to be a plastic container. A soft plastic container like this will be much easy. Like you can see, this is basically a very flimsy plastic. But you have to have a very soft plastic. Please do not use ceramic pots, because people do use ceramic pots. If you're going to use ceramic pot, then this entire content will not come out. So now you can see my paste, that is the cement and the Cocopeat, it is completely mixed with each other. So now I'm just going to put it into this pot. Now I am sure, because from my experience of making pots, I will be able to tell you that this pot is going to have very thick edges, which is fine because this is just an experiment to show it to you guys. I usually do not prefer to have thick edged pot. I prefer them to be very thin, but this is going to be very thick because the plastic glass that I'm using inside is going to be much I would say it's much narrow compared to the actual container, so it's going to be very thick pot, but it's absolutely fine. Succulents definitely look very beautiful in thick pots as well, with the pots that have thick edges. So now I have completely filled this up with the mix. Now the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to gently tap it a little bit, and then I'm going to add the pot, the plastic container inside it like this, and try to push it as deep as I can. And then again tap it from the sides for it to release any kind of air bubbles that are going to be present inside this. So now definitely the material was not enough for this pot, but that's absolutely fine. So the material is little less in this, but that's absolutely fine because this is just a tutorial video to show you how you can make the Hypertufa pot. So we have to tap and release all of these air pockets that are going to be present inside this mixture. So otherwise it is going to leave a lot of bubbles. You might have seen some pots, they have these bubbles, so they are going to have bubbles if you're not going to tap. But a lot of people do like those bubbles in the pot, so if you want to do that, then you do not need to tap it. It is going to have those air pockets. So I'm going to tap all of that air pockets nicely out. As you can see, these are the air bubbles that are going to rise up, so we need to tap and release all of those air bubbles. So now we are pretty much done, and if you want, you can add in some stones or anything. What I usually tend to do is I just keep a slightly heavy pot on it so that it sits in the container like this. So that's all about it. Now I'm going to keep it aside in indirect bright light. There is one bubble, I'll just pop it off. So that's all about it. Now I'm going to keep this in indirect bright light. Now this will be sitting in indirect bright light for another 3 to 4 days because we want to cure the cement, the concrete, the cement that we have used. Right now it's going to be kept in indirect bright light. Do not keep it in direct sunlight, otherwise the cement will cure faster. The faster the cement cures, the weaker the pot will be. So you have to keep it in indirect bright light so that it can cure by itself. Hi guys, the Hypertufa pot is almost ready, but it is still yet to dry. But today it has been very sunny, so I thought I'll quickly make the video of unmolding this Hypertufa pot. Now remember guys, please do not be in a hurry. I'm just doing this because the climate is changing and it is going to rain, so I wanted to finish up this video as soon as possible. But if you're making a Hypertufa pot, please let it heal or cure for at least 4 to 5 days in indirect bright light, after which after a week you can put it in direct sunlight, and you can mist, or you can keep the Hypertufa pot in a place where it gets a good amount of sunlight and just mist the pot to make it even more stronger. But I'm just in a hurry. I wanted to make this video because the climate is very unstable. It might start raining probably for another few days. So right now it's very sunny. I thought I'll quickly make this video of unmolding it. I will take out the cup, the plastic cup that is inside, as you can see. Now it's going to be a little difficult for me because I have not added any oil inside it. That is why I said it's very important to add that oil. So now we have taken it out. You can see this. It's still very wet, but I will just show it to you any which ways because I'm going to keep it to dry after this. So let's move. I'll have to tap this a little bit to take out the pot from this mold. So first I will try to loosen it from the sides like this, and then I will take it to unmold it. So now I will just take my pot and just turn it around and tap it off, and there you go. You can see the pot is ready. It's slightly wet right now, but that's absolutely fine. You can see, actually I think I put in a lot of cement. That's why that is the reason why I can't see any of the Cocopeat. Ideally the Cocopeat is also very visible. The pot is not very heavy, it is light, but you can see it looks absolutely beautiful. I have to sand it in order to make it smooth. Now this is a very small pot because, as I said, the material was not enough, but I think the pot has come out really well. Okay, so now you can see the pot is come out really well, very smooth. I did it quite early because you can see it's still dark in color, which means that it's not completely healed. I thought that I'm going to put the plant right away, but I will wait for some more time. But you can see the pot looks absolutely beautiful. There is going to be a little bit of these sharp edges which you can sand it later, but I usually prefer to leave them as it is. But you can see the strands of Cocopeat is still present on it, which is absolutely fine. So after a while you can sand it. Right now I would say do not sand it because it's still not completely cured. We have to let it cure completely, and you can see it's a very smooth finish. I have to make a drain hole. I will do that in a while and show it to you, but you can see the pot is absolutely beautiful. Now this pot is good enough for a medium sized succulent because the pot is little small. As I said, I did not have the proper containers at that point of time. I already had made the mix, so I had to put it into the container, otherwise it will get hard within a couple of hours, so I had to do that. So it was pretty simple. Now if you are a beginner, I would say always use some oil onto it. I have a little bit of experience with making pots, so I do not use oil, especially my containers, plastic containers. They are very soft material, they are very soft plastic, so it easily tends to come out from the pot. So you've seen that I just turned around the pot and it just came out because it comes out really easy because I've made so many pots in that, so probably it is very easy to get out of it. Apart from that, I had kept it in sun for some time, so the plastic also had got little bit heated. That's why it was very easy to take it out. So as and when this pot will get dried, it will turn lighter in color. Right now it's still, I can feel it's still slightly wet because it's not yet completely cured. So I'm going to keep it aside for it to cure in indirect bright light. So it's going to be kept in indirect bright light for few days for it to cure, and probably every alternate day or every day you can just take a misting bottle and just mist the pot. What is going to happen is this is going to keep the pot cooler, and it will help and it will delay the curing process. The more the cement is cured, the more stronger the pot will be. So the longer it takes time for the cement to cure, the more strong the pot will be. So every other day I will be misting the pot like this, or you can, if you do not want to mist, if you feel that this is too much of work, you can just take this pot and keep it in a jar of water or in a bucket of water, probably for 3 to 4 days, and then take it out and keep it in direct sunlight. So in this way, the cement that is there in this will become really strong. It will be completely cured and the pot will be rock hard. So now if you want to make the drain hole, it's super easy. All you need to do is just take any pointed stuff, and then I'm taking a scissor over here and very gently I will make a small little hole into it. Now if you want, you can do it from inside out, outside in, any which ways, it's absolutely fine, but you have to be extremely careful. Now I'm doing this very early because I just wanted to show you guys the video. You can see it's very sunny today, and here we go, we have our drain hole ready. So our pot is completely ready with the drain hole. So now we can go ahead and plant a succulent in this. So guys, as you can see, it was so pretty simple to make a Hypertufa pot with cement and Cocopeat. If you do not have any paper available, you can even use your Cocopeat in order to make your Hypertufa pot. You can still see there are some strands of the Cocopeat. Now I know a lot of people might have questioned that if you are using a Cocopeat pot, the succulent might get rotted. Please don't be worried, because Cocopeat, when it is contained in a container like a pot, it tends to remain moist. But when it is exposed like this with cement, it will start absorbing all the moisture out, and when the surface, it comes in contact with the surface, you know, the water will get evaporated. So all of that moisture from the soil will be pulled up by the pot, and as and when the pot starts to dry, all the moisture will get absorbed into this pot, and then it will get dried up. So this is very similar to our papercrete pot. It works the same how it works for a concrete pot, a unglazed clay pot, or a terracotta pot. It's going to have the same features. So guys, I hope that this video on Hypertufa pot was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.